Alhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. Dear brothers and sisters, today again continue with chapter 28. We need to understand that the Quran have been sent down by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us. It's not a song. It is to be understood, to be acted upon, and to make that theoretical words practical on earth. Quran is the judge. Quran is the ruler. Quran is the one which will determine who are the victorious and who will be left behind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayat which we're discussing, verses 62 and to verse 66, is discussing those verses and bringing those verses after the story of the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh have committed genocide. He was killing people. He was committing genocide. He was killing babies. He was committing also racism and racial discrimination against the people. He was committing also classes. Some people he gave them pardon, and some people he let them go with their crimes. He will take in the law in his hand and manipulate the law to do what is fits him, what he wants, what he desires. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what happened to the Pharaoh? The Pharaoh were destroyed. Same thing we can see right now. You had Genocide Joe. Genocide Joe, he gave arms. He was the biggest arm suppliers to the Israeli government to kill innocent people, to kill innocent babies, to kill innocent children. What's happening to Genocide Joe? He doesn't even remember his name. But Genocide Joe, he has presidential immunity right now. Nobody can sue him. Nobody can get him under the International Criminal Court. But remember, this is the verses which are telling us that Genocide Joe will be brought in front of who? Before who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Genocide Joe, we're not going to have any excuses, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought forward the criteria, and He said that the people who do things which conflict with the human nature, with the human identification of right or wrong, they're doing this because of the desires of this life. Genocide Joe was afraid about his chair, brothers and sisters, the chair which he's sitting on, the chair, like all these congressmen and senators, they were afraid that they will be kicked off from their position. And at the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will humiliate them in the hereafter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask them, why you did so and so? Oh, because we were getting money. We were getting campaign contribution. Let the campaign contribution help you in the hereafter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing these signs because, brothers and sisters, we see another Pharaoh coming up, which is Donald Trump. What he's doing? What he's doing, he's making money control everything. What he's making is he's making the authority, and also he's making the racism and discrimination. And when it comes to the rule of law, he's stepping on the top of that rule of law. Brothers and sisters, all these democratic institutions we have in America, these people on January 6th, they violated, they destroyed, they put the civil servants, our senators and our congressmen, in danger. They put them in danger because of their racial, because of their white supremacist ideas. And then what happened, brothers and sisters? This guy coming and flipped the law. This guy and using the law for his political advantage, and give them all pardon them. So you're sending a message. It's okay to violate the law. It's okay to put people's life in danger. It's okay. and I'm gonna give you a pardon. Brothers and sisters, all these things will see the effect of those things later on. And we will see the effects of those in this life before these people be judged before Allah. Before you have George W. Bush, he committed another genocide in Iraq. Him and his army. They killed so many people, they tortured so many people, and that region, still up till this time, is unstable because of this reactions of inability to control himself when it comes to the same thing like the Pharaoh. He couldn't control himself when he saw the dream. Let me kill the male born Israelites. And this is what he did. So the same thing. Brothers and sisters, we have to understand that history will repeat itself. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this book is saying him and his messenger will be victorious. Brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bringing us again to another scene in the hereafter, where people are going to start to blame themselves or each other. You see the pharaohs, the presidents, they're going to say, oh, they followed us because they want what we have. We have power, we have money, we have authority. And that's what the reason they followed us. But the people who were following blindly the orders of these presidents, Genocide Joe, George W. Bush, Donald Trump, are not doing these atrocities by their own. They have people who are doing this for them. Those people, they're gonna come and say, "Oh, he is the one who gave me the order to do so. That's why I followed his order." So all that blame game is not gonna work in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the court of the superior Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not gonna work. And all at the end, they will face the reality, the real reality, that this life was just a test. And the hereafter was the place where judgment will take place. Brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling those people who commit injustices, who commit these heinous crimes, and they commit these atrocities. وَيَوْمَ يُنَادِيهِمْ فَيَقُولُ مَاذَا أَجَبْتُمُ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. I have sent you messengers. From day one until the last day, I send you messengers. What did you do with those messengers? You mocked them. You made them as a joke. You continued in your fraudster behavior. You continued in your genocide behavior. You killed the innocents. You took advantage of the poor. Brothers and sisters, don't listen to what they're telling you about justice. Brothers and sisters, black communities are segregated. Black communities are full of drugs. Black communities are full of kidnapping and drugs and all kinds of guns. You think the government cannot control it? You go into Canada and you go into China and you go into Mexico, oh, I'm going to put tariffs because you guys are not fighting drugs. Look at our communities in the United States of America. How these communities are being managed. No, I have to continue the racial discrimination because here is the Pharaoh. That's the Pharaoh policy. When I differentiate, I can rule. Brothers and sisters, again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Moses to the Pharaoh. But Moses what? Mocked him. But the Pharaoh, what did he do? He mocked Moses. He said, who are you, man? You know, and he mocked him day and night until Moses left Egypt. Brothers and sisters, this is what's happening. The people of this country, which we live in, the United States of America, which we love, what happened? What happened to these people? What happened to these presidents? They know Allah have sent them also Jesus. They're claiming they're Christian. Jesus, what did Jesus came with? Jesus came with the Old Testament, the 10 Commandments of Moses. Don't kill, don't murder, don't commit injustices. But they know, but the devil and the desires of this life have flipped the script. They made people do the genocide, do the killing, do the torture, do the chopping of the hand and chopping of the everything impossible. Everything shouldn't have came from a human who have a sense of humanity. They have done it. And at the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling them at the hereafter, I send you the messenger. Yes, Jesus and the Bible. Donald J. Trump, when he went before he went before after when the coronavirus happened and January 6th happened and all that, he went to a church and he boasted with what? With the Bible. He believes in the Bible. He knows there is 10 commandments. He knows that the Bible said don't kill. You know that Jesus said don't kill. You know the humility of Jesus. So what was going on right now? While Joe Biden, the previous president was doing genocide, killing is all for the worldly gains. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, whoever is going to focus on these worldly gains, I'll destroy him. So these people, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in verse number 65 is telling him, what did you answer these messenger I have sent to you? They were shocked. They couldn't even answer. They couldn't even sleep. They couldn't even speak. Why they couldn't even speak? Because they know that the answer that we did deny them, we mocked them, we made fun of them. They made fun of Jesus. They made fun of Muhammad. They made fun of Moses. They made fun of everybody who came with a message of the truth. Dear brothers and sisters, the time we're living in is very critical for you, for me. We have to understand what's happening. We have to stand up, regardless. You're Christian, you're Muslim, you're Jewish. You have to stand up and understand that you will be standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He'll ask you, ماذا أجبتم المرسلين? What did you answer the messengers? Did you take the advice, the explanation of the messengers seriously? Or you mocked them? Or you have swept whatever they have said under the carpet? Brothers and sisters, this is what it is. But again, we have to understand the Quran. We have to act upon it. And we have to be a good example for people to follow. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم.